Right now at 6, thousands of drivers caught on camera breaking the law. This video drawed some renewed attention to kids' safety at the bus stop.
It seems like the cost of everything is going up. Now Eversource says it wants your electric bill to go up as well. We're going to have details on the proposal up for discussion.
Also, the Coast Guard Academy has been accused of mishandling reports of sexual assault. We'll tell you what state leaders say needs to happen to protect those who report sexual assaults.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock. Happy Friday to you. Thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you and happy Friday. We're going to have a good one here. But boy, just be aware, I think it's going to get kind of breezy out there, Matt Scott. It was all right walking to my car, but I've seen some flags really whipping in the wind.
Kind of breezy.
Kind of breezy.
A little bit.
A little bit. That's your meteorological term for today. A little bit. Yeah, good morning to you. It's going to be windy, especially in the next hour or two as the sun comes up. Few slippery spots. I had just a little coating of snow interior Connecticut. Not a big deal, but be mindful. There are some slick spots out there. The winds definitely picking up today. The weekend, we have a close call for some snow and then some milder temperatures working in. You can see where the winds are coming in pretty swiftly out of the northwest, maybe a flurry trying to hold together from the Great Lakes, but really not doing that great of a job. Let's look at the numbers. They're not bad temperature-wise because of the clouds we had overnight in the 30s everywhere you look except for Torrington. But these are the sustained winds, 20 to 26 at the shore. The wind gusts taking it to near tropical storm force and in New Haven to 39. So put it all together, your real feel dropped considerably down to the teens to the 20s. And those winds will be whipping today. 32 now for the high schoolers, 38 later on. Decent amount of sunshine in the 7-day. We'll talk about that near miss of snow for the weekend too. That's all coming up. 9 and 3. Hold on to those. Both hands on the wheel this morning.
Absolutely. The wind is going to be whipping your car, or at least making it kind of rock back and forth. Matt, I did check with the latest outages too, and in southwestern Connecticut, there's about a handful right now. So unfortunately for those folks, but good news, we're not seeing widespread issues. 6:02 right now, 91, 84, all looking good this morning. So we're interstates, but we do have a crash to alert you to on Route 8 over in Waterbury this morning. This is a 2-vehicle crash on the northbound side. That left lane is closed at the moment. You can take a live look outside there where you can see crews are kind of letting one lane get by at the moment. Again, this is a 2-vehicle crash on Route 8 northbound in the Waterbury area. And of course, we'll keep you posted on when that clears. Otherwise, Seymour to Shelton on Route 8 south. That looks good at 6 minutes, and 84 east and westbound in the Waterbury area. 18 to 25 through the Mixmaster looks fine at a 5-minute drive. Guys, back to you.
All right, Rachel, thanks. Well, now to a Fox follow-up for you on allegations of sexual abuse at the Coast Guard Academy. Senator Richard Blumenthal is going to address new reports about the Academy's handling of those accusations today.
He chairs a committee that's investigating the Academy, and he just introduced legislation in Washington aimed at protecting cadets who report abuse. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in New Haven this morning with the details. Good morning.
And good morning to you. Lawmakers are pushing for cadets to have protections whenever it comes to reporting sexual assault without in return receiving some sort of collateral punishment. Every other military branch already has these protections in place except for the Coast Guard. Now federal lawmakers are involved and they want this to change right away. That is especially because they have recently learned that the Coast Guard has covered up sexual assault reports for several years. Last year, an investigation found that the Coast Guard produced an internal report about allegations of sexual assault and harassment. The cases happened between 1988 and 2006. This internal probe was called Operation Fouled Anchor. Blumenthal says an investigation into Operation Fouled Anchor revealed the cases were covered up and mishandled. Today is expected to share those findings from new documents about Fouled Anchor. We're told those documents contain what they're calling troubling information. A hearing was held back in December where assault survivors were able to share their stories. This is just one of many things being done to investigate how far back the failure of disclosure actually goes. Yesterday, Blumenthal and other lawmakers introduced a bill that would require the Coast Guard and Coast Guard Academy to launch a safe reporting system for service members who are abused or harassed. Right now, if a cadet were to report their assault, they would be penalized if it comes to light that they had been drinking, underage, or breaking any other rules of conduct. The Coast Guard is the only branch without those protections against collateral punishment already in place. One Coast Guard member spoke at the hearing saying she never wants anyone to fear reporting an assault and wants it to be taken seriously.
What I thought was an innocent ice cream date on campus turned into a sexual assault that has haunted me ever since. We are always told that you just have to say no. But no to him was an invitation to try again.
And I will be meeting and speaking with those lawmakers and leaders later this morning to talk about this investigation and the legislation. And I'll have more on that coming up later this afternoon. Live in New Haven, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Hey, Brooke, thank you. We appreciate that report. We'll see what happens in the future. All right, at 6:06 this Friday morning, if you're an Eversource customer, your electric bill could go up by 19% this year.
Yeah, the company is seeking a rate adjustment for money that it says it could not collect due to state policies. Fox 61's Keith McGilvery is here breaking down the numbers and has more on what Eversource is proposing as a way to help customers.
Yeah, a lot of talk of these bills, Erica and Tim, and there is certainly a lot to break down. Eversource says 2 state policies responsible for the planned rate hike. It's calling on the state to make changes now so customers don't feel a rate shock. Eversource says it needs to make up $784 million. Most of that money, the company says, is lost in state-mandated contracts to purchase energy from the Millstone nuclear power plant. On top of that, Eversource notes a high number of unpaid electric bills during the pandemic, thanks to the state's moratorium preventing providers from turning off the power if someone can't pay their bill. Those bills add up to about $160 million. Eversource says overdue customer balances are paid by all customers here. To make up all that money, Eversource wants to raise rates by an average of $38 per month per customer, an increase of some 19%. Eversource says it wants to work with the state on a way to soften the blow of the rate hikes here. Officials are asking regulators to allow the increase to be phased in later this year when supply costs should come down. They also want the state to change certain rules so Eversource can forecast expected costs and factor them into rate increases sooner. Lastly, they want to work with lawmakers on a better solution for addressing unpaid bills. We are already getting reaction to the report. House Republican leader Vincent Candelora saying this should be a wake-up call to the governor and state regulators. In a statement, he says in part, preventing utilities from forecasting expenditures and recovering costs associated with providing services and system upgrades sounds great in a constituent mailer or newspaper article, but it doesn't make those costs go away. It only defers them. State regulators have to approve the rate hike before anything happens here. Now, Eversource says the rate hike would start in May, the request coming just a day after Eversource announced it's dropping out of an offshore wind project. The company says it will get just over $1 billion by doing so, but it reportedly lost twice that amount in its investment. There are also reports Eversource is moving to sell its water company, Aquarian, to generate more money. So there is a lot to follow here. Bottom line, we will keep a close eye on what it could mean for your bill at home. Tim and Erica, back to you guys.
All right, a friendly reminder for all of you this morning. If you're driving on the same road as a school bus and it's stopped with its flashing red lights on and its stop sign out, that means you have to stop your car as well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what side of the street that you're on unless it's a divided highway separated by a barrier. This video behind us showing people doing just the opposite in Bridgeport. City officials say there's been nearly 10,000 of these incidents in just 6 months. So if you sit back and think about it for just a second, nearly 10,000 in 6 months, that means on average each bus is having this happen more than once every single school day.
Yeah, from September 3rd through February 3rd, 74 school buses that had the stop arm cameras recorded exactly 9,860 instances of vehicles doing this. And remember, that's just in the city of Bridgeport.
So here are the streets with the highest number of violations, according to Bridgeport city officials. The 100th block of Logan Street with 1,600 violations there, and the 100th block of Davenport Street with 566 violations. Nearly 1 in 5 stop arm violations happening between these locations.
Now, in response to all this, Mayor Joe Ganim said, quote, "We will take the necessary steps to crack down on these violations to ensure that our children are not being threatened by the carelessness of drivers while school buses are making their pickup and drop-off routes." Now, in case you're unaware or choose to ignore it, there is a law that says you have to stop when a school bus is stopped displaying those flashing red lights, whether you're behind it or approaching it. You have to keep at least 10 feet away, and it's illegal to pass a school bus when those red light signals are flashing. They mean that kids are either getting on or leaving the bus. It may also mean that kids are trying to cross the street safely to get to the bus. So that's why you have to stay stopped until the driver of the bus turns those red lights off and retracts the stop sign arm. If you don't do this, expect to face a fine.